Welcome to Undressing Intimacy, where we cut through the bullshit
Ricky,
so we can get naked.
you can't say that.
Why not? How would you say it then?
Well, maybe more like, welcome to Undressing Intimacy, where we undress emotionally so we can undress physically.
That's exactly what I said. Not sure what the problem is. Welcome to episode
Number 70.
number 70. It's a little sad because we've got past my favorite number.
I know. Are you going to, do you know that I had to tell our listeners, the air is always set at 69 in the car, in the house. Like, he loves this number, y'all. We're on 70. Are you going to be okay?
You only get the hint. Yeah, but we did celebrate episode number 69. Our favorite, or maybe I should say my favorite number, because it sounds like Amy's just pushing it onto me. So I'll take responsibility 100% for this number. Favorite number episode, we're going to celebrate by giving away 3 free coaching sessions. I said that without fumbling. I'm very proud of myself.
Probably.
And the way we're going to do this is we would love for you to go into however you listen to the podcast. And we've learned that there's different ways about this, right? So like Spotify doesn't let you leave a review. It just lets you give stars. So go give stars. Apple Podcasts, and those are the 2 most prominent ways that you guys listen, will actually let you write a review and give stars. And we would love to get those reviews in that and those star ratings. So if you go do that, we will pick someone randomly from those to give these 3 free sessions away to.
Also, YouTube.
Oh, yes. YouTube is the third way.
Yes, you can.
So
put
all of
a
our
comment,
friends that can see us out there.
yes, on there. So not only listening, but watching. And if you leave stars on Spotify where we can't track your stars, send us a quick email like, hey, I left you some stars, and we'll put you in the drawing.
Absolutely. We're excited about that. Also,
wait.
Oh,
and
I'm always anxious to go on to the next thing. So
are.
I messed up last night like that.
Calm down.
Happy to be here.
We will announce the winner of the giveaway of those 3 free coaching sessions on the podcast that airs Tuesday, January 27th.
That's our next one after this one.
Next week. Because, yeah.
Very cool. The other thing we need to talk about very seriously is that a whole month has taken place. Actually, 2 months because we skipped one. And we're getting ready to come across the date in which we have our second community meeting. And while we loved and enjoyed every minute of our first one, we need more of you. So please come sign up.
So we want to develop a community where you can come together and see other couples learning and growing just like you are. So often it feels like you're the only ones, or you're alone, or even as I coach with you individually, you don't know about all the other couples that we get to see that we love and adore and respect. And so this gives you a chance to engage with them, to recognize how you're not alone, to learn from each other, just have a place to share in this journey of marriage. And so that's really our goal. We're going to do a lot of different things with this community. It's totally free. And we just hope that you come join us and that you enjoy being a part of a community.
Yes. So down in the bottom of the notes of this podcast that you're listening to right now, I'll put a link where you can go sign up. You can go to our website and sign up for this. Next session is Tuesday, January 27th at 7:30 p.m. So it's coming
Central time.
Yep, that's Central time.
So 6:30 Mountain, 8:30 Eastern.
5:30 Pacific if you want to catch them.
We have
in Belgium, I have no idea what time it is.
UK, Dubai,
Australia, you're going to be probably up in the middle of the night, but we'd love to have you. Anyway, It's cool because we actually are talking to people all around the world. So we love listening to.
Amazing. So I can't do all the time conversions, but there you have it.
They make fun of us because we don't know what Boxing Day is. So
yeah,
we get made fun of, but that's okay. I'm used to it. Amy's not so much used to it, but I'm used to it.
We really didn't know. I had one client be like, that was hilarious to watch the 2 of you try and figure out what Boxing Day is.
We Googled it though. The Googs told us it was good.
We are pretty excited. We've entered a new phase.
We have.
that we waited a long time for.
Well, it seemed like it came really fast. It takes a while to get there, but then when we got to the last little part that we needed to be able to jump off the cliff, that seemed like it took forever. It's
Yes.
like relaunching kids.
Yes.
So the new phase of life is empty nesters for the first time ever in our marriage. We
Whoop,
came
whoop,
home
whoop, whoop.
from dropping our oldest son off in San Antonio, which we were so excited about. It's been an emotional roller coaster finding him a job. Again, I think we talk about our own relationship, and some of the biggest struggles we've had in that relationship have to do with our kids.
Mhm.
They really do. And the way that we parent them and the different ways we go about overcoming struggles. The thing is, we seem to struggle with the same thing. We just process it so differently.
Yes.
And so having our son struggling, trying to find a job, living at
So
home.
qualified, so
It was hard.
dedicated and applying, and yet it's just a tough job market.
Yeah. And then on another side is that, man, I love this kid. He's like one of my best friends, and we enjoy so many things together, auto racing and football. And there's just so many things that we enjoy together. And to think that he would not be close to me, that was
Yeah.
also a struggle. So it was a battle between the emotions. But this last weekend, we took him down to San Antonio and we dropped him off. And then we stopped by Abilene, where our youngest son was going back to college. We dropped something off with him, and then we drove home.
Mm-hmm.
Now, we always had this vision that
I
we
was
would
wondering if you were going to say it.
ride off into the sunset. I was pulling a horse trailer with no horse because it was full of furniture before, driving down the freeway, exhausted. And that was our ride off into the sunset.
It wasn't exactly how we had imagined. We'd had this
That's quite a romantic whole thing.
We were exhausted from 2 moves, but also we had imagined that when we became empty nesters, we would drive off into the sunset. We weren't going to tell anyone where we were going, and we would just disappear for a couple of weeks or an extended period of time. And I think we can still do that, but we didn't cross that threshold in that phase and have that opportunity, especially after just coming off having all of our children home for Christmas and then a big family reunion and then moving these kids. And so it wasn't like we could then take another few weeks and disappear into the sunset. But we did drive off into the sunset to our empty home.
Oh, we did.
And felt a little weird. And I thought it was kind of funny. Both of us texted our children without texting each other, without letting
you
each
never
other
told me you did.
See?
You've been hiding this secret from me from the rat.
We both reached out to all of them to share how much we loved them. And that was the first thing we did as empty nesters.
It was weird. It was a crazy dynamic. Walking upstairs into empty bedrooms felt so empty and sad. The thing, again, like I told you, my boys, Amy's gotten flipped on, right? So we had a pretty good balance. Once we got the dog, we were overwhelmed by women in the house.
So we have 2 girls and 2 boys.
So we have 2 girls and 2 boys. So it was a balance. But at the end of this tale, it was just dominated by males.
Our girls were out and independent, and our boys were lingering.
And we'd sit at the dinner table, and Amy, bless her heart, and that's not the bad Southern bless you heart. Sorry. Maybe I should have used that term. Would endure these conversations because we would go off on spindles of iRacing, where we had raced last and how the track was, and F1 and NASCAR and football and all these topics. And Amy thinks,
programming.
oh yeah, and then computer programming and
Top Gear.
Amy now knows what torque is, and she's so proud of herself.
Chicanes and turbos and
she
piston
misuses it a lot.
squishes and
she loves the term piston squish. I don't know why.
I'm like, did an engineer really truly come up with that and not
That's
think
exactly what's happening.
maybe I could call
a
that
piston
something
squish.
else?
What's wrong with piston squishing?
It just seems wrong.
So she has battled this male-dominated world in her home. And so again, it was very...
I loved it.
It was good. And that's the problem. It was good, but it also needed to go into this next phase where we have this time together. And it really is quite scary in some aspects if you're not prepared for it.
Mm-hmm.
I just responded to a post online about this where the husband said, I am scared to death. And they'd had some struggles in their marriage and they were seeing it coming. And it was like, oh my gosh, what does this mean? Because we talk about the 2 buckets in marriage, right? The domestic and the erotic bucket.
Mm-hmm.
And while you have kids at home, the domestic bucket is ginormous,
Huge.
right? It's huge and you have to fill it. And there's so many things you
It's like
have to
full-time
do.
jobs, just managing, partnering, all of
Yeah.
the things related
And
to
I
your
think that it,
children.
it starts shrinking as they get closer to adulthood and having adults, children at home is less, but there's still a bucket there
Hmm.
that you have to manage.
Hmm.
And then when going from having this huge bucket where you put a lot of your energy and time into it and having it just go away could be very scary if you haven't exercised or filled up the erotic bucket, especially because now you're looking at each other thinking, what do we do now?
Yeah, who are you? What now? I remember being terrified, actually. Um,
When?
this was like when they were still young. I
Yeah,
think,
well,
or
when our marriage sucked.
yeah, when our marriage sucked, when like
Not marriage in general, when our erotic bucket sucked, I
yeah,
guess.
when our erotic bucket sucked. When our oldest was maybe like middle school, elementary school, so like a significant amount of time ago
Yeah.
because she's now been graduated for many years and married. And anyways, I remember fearing this phase, thinking, when I don't have my kids to hide behind, what's gonna save me?
That's a ringing endorsement right there of me. She needs something to hide behind. Wow. Where
Well,
do I go from there?
some women may relate.
I'm glad I can be the scapegoat for some women. Would you like to flog me some more while we're here?
No.
No, I understand. Like it was so heavily on the domestic side. We talk about that. That's where we were successful, and we were so messed up on the erotic side that it was scary.
Mm-hmm.
It was scary, and we even found like we go on dates because that's what we should do.
Mm-hmm.
And most of the time they were to Costco, and that was awful. I've tried to change that and come up with some good dates, but we find ourselves sitting around the table talking about the domestic bucket.
It was all business
Yeah.
and things like that. And not that those conversations aren't important, but we really didn't know how to have intimate conversations to talk about anything sexual, erotic. We really didn't at all. And if we did, it was not good.
Yeah, there was always a bad. And so
It was what do you call that when there's like, oh, minefield? I was thinking like when there's
conflict.
bombs everywhere.
There was tiptoeing and you get our leg
Yes.
blown off.
Yes.
And I think an important thing to talk about here is that you may not be empty nesters or getting close to it, but it's going to happen, right?
Well, we hope it happens for you.
Right. Let's
That's
pray
the
that it
goal.
happens in this generation. We may not know. They all may live in your basement the rest of their life. We all hope it happens. The time to prepare to be an empty nester is not a few weeks before becoming empty nesters. I mean, it's never too late to do it. But that's why it's so important and why we tell you, like, right now is the time to understand these two buckets in your marriage. And if it is wildly out of whack, to learn how to put some focus back into one or the other. And it might be one of the, I guess I've never coached anyone that had the erotic bucket out of whack. So
You
maybe
mean-
they think, and they did forget the domestic side and all they do is the erotic side.
No, I haven't.
I have
come
never
across
come
that
across
yet.
that yet. So if you're out there, let me know because I'd love to talk to you. It'd be very fascinating. But this is the time to look at that and to understand how do we become more than just domestic partners? How do we become true lovers, true friends, and enjoy each other? Because when all that goes away and that bucket becomes very small, all you're left with is each other. And it's fantastic.
Mm-hmm.
Like, let me tell you, the last few days have been fantastic. Not having one in the house and being able to be only us and
Yes.
to enjoy ourselves completely
Yes.
and not have to worry about anyone but the two of us.
Yes. It's very freeing.
It's very free. And I still mess up. I messed up last night, by the way. I was on such a good roll. We were a whole week. It was fantastic. Everything I did was like a charm. And, and then last night I got the where did Amy go response, which I haven't got in years. So that's just to say those struggles won't go away. They never will, but you have a lot of time together to figure it out and to practice it for sure.
Yeah. As we were driving away in our truck, now empty with a giant horse trailer in the sunset, that was a little different than our riding off into the sunset. I did have a mixture of grief. It's like a happy grief though, right? Like this stage of intense child rearing has come to an end. It was demanding, it was expanding, it was beautiful. I've had this grief before. Like I remember when our last child was no longer an infant and we knew that there were no more children. And it's not a
Oh yeah, I remember when you went up to the attic and got the baby clothes out and the crib.
yes.
Like I found you like sobbing,
Sobbing,
just
yes.
holding these baby clothes,
And it
and I'm
wasn't
like, "Woo!"
yeah, you were celebrating, I was sobbing. And it wasn't that I thought there were more children coming to us or that I had grief over that decision. It was just like a necessary transition, like grieving in a way that says, I'm letting go of this and I'm opening up to this.
Yeah,
And so there was some of that grief in this transition too, but there was also just so much gratitude that I really liked you and that I was looking forward to what we have and what we've created and to see how that's going to blossom even more. And so the two were so true for me. It was like grief and joy.
yeah. It's good to hear you still like me after last night.
I love you.
I find this interesting, and I really hadn't thought about talking about this topic, but just you explaining that there is such a different dynamic between you and I when it comes to transitioning. And I don't
Mhm.
know if you've seen this in your coaching, that it's generally between male, female, or spontaneous and responsive desire, if those differences correlate with the transition difference or not. But what do you think?
I'm thinking right now on the spot. So you keep talking and I'll keep thinking.
Okay. We are very, very different. And the thing is, like I said, we probably get sad about the same things, we struggle with the same things. Like when our son couldn't find a job, I was just as probably distraught as Amy was, but I show it in such a different way, right? And I
Mm.
respond to it in such a different way. And what that does is it puts Amy off thinking that I'm not responding to it. She's like, wait, you're not responding to it like I am. You don't care. And so she's had to learn that we respond very differently. We've seen this in every major transition of our lives. I mean, the biggest one last time is selling our house and moving to this new house.
Mhm.
And once I decide, like, I'm going to do this, it's like, I'm all in.
You put all your chips in on that poker
And
table and
yeah.
you don't look back and you
And
are
there's
just
no
like,
sorrow looking back. Like,
yeah.
and yeah, did I miss that house? I love that house. Yes. But that was like 1 second. And then it's
Yeah.
done.
You transition very quickly.
Amy, weeks, months. And then even after the transition happens for a little bit, still has this lingering sorrow like that's going on in the background. Now, if I was asked you today, I think I know the answer. You think the best thing we've ever done in our life is to move to this house.
Yes. And it wasn't that I even didn't want to move or didn't think it was good. It's an emotional process that I have to go through it's almost like the grief is a way of being thankful for what was provided.
That's interesting because I feel like it's the opposite. If I'm grieving, then I'm just being selfish of what's to come.
Oh no. Like in the house example, when I was grieving, it was thinking of all the beautiful moments we'd had in those walls and how grateful I was for the home. And even moving to that home was a huge
Oh, that
leap and
was
jump for us.
crazy.
Huge. It was
Leaving that state.
a very big leap in our life that we literally jumped with a hope and a prayer.
Well, and I remember I can put it exactly at the moment. It's a little funny. I don't know if I mentioned this last podcast, but when Wicked the movie had come out, going back and watching this movie, and I'll admit I've got these softy, cryy parts of me, right? So
You do.
I can lean into some of the most feminine parts of myself, and I'm okay with that. It doesn't bother me at all. So crying at a movie, it happens. I don't try to hide it. I don't care. It doesn't embarrass me. But I was like sobbing at this movie, the last Wicked movie.
Mm-hmm.
And
the first one, not the second.
I can't remember. Maybe I sobbed at both of them. Doesn't matter. Don't
He's got a really
blow
tender
my
part.
story here.
I'm sorry. Keep going.
Doesn't matter which one. There's Mrs. Specific there that has to get literal on us. One of the two. I was like sobbing. I think it was the last one because we watched the first one like 4 or 5 times in the movie theater. And the reason why behind it was, as music does, it can take you back literally in just an instant. And this did. And it took me back. We were living in a rental house. We'd moved from California to Texas.
In like a month. Like it was a fast transition.
And it was actually Amy's idea to do the fast transition,
It
which was
was,
crazy. That's
which
why I
is
knew I was supposed to do it because Amy's like, we need
insane
to
for
go, go,
me.
go.
And you'll understand that even more as we talk about my transition.
Yeah, because that's not Amy at all. And so here I am. I've just ripped my family out of its roots that we'd been there for 10 plus years.
Mm-hmm. And by all of our extended
And
family.
every one of my family members and my family members, our family members weren't very happy about
Well,
this
they didn't like us
decision.
very much for this.
Here I am sitting in this rental house, waiting for our house to be built, driving my kids to school because it was a little bit of ways. And in the background, as we drove to school, we would listen to the Wicked Broadway soundtrack. The funny thing is, Amy usually starts this. She'll find a soundtrack to a Broadway musical, and I'm like, "What the hell are you listening to? This is lame. Why?" I remember Les Mis. You used to listen to Les Mis. I'm like, "What the hell? What is this?" And Les Mis is my absolute favorite of all time musicals. I love the music. So maybe that's my slow transition is when you introduce musicals
I
to
just
me.
had the funniest memory. I remember when our kids were 2, 4, and 6. And so
Oh
that
yeah, two,
number when
4,
Jean
6.
Valjean sings 24601,
We
and
used to have to give them
they
to
were
their
sitting
numbers.
around the table and they're like, "Hey, that's us." And they
Yeah.
would sing their number. Little Maggie
2,
go
4, 6, 0, 1.
6. And then there was, anyways, yes.
So that's where it took me back to in this transition. And that's what brought up all those emotions because why I had doubled down and said, yes, this is what I want to do. And when I do that, then there's nothing stopping me. And maybe that's the problem last night. Now I'm thinking about it and there's nothing stopping me and I'm going to do it. So why I'd done that after the fact, I've seen the impacts on my family and I thought, what did I just do? Like I just effed up more than I could ever F up in my whole entire life. Can we go back? There's no way to go back. There's no turning back. We're here. We've done it in this and going through all the emotions that it took us. And once we got into our new house and we got settled in, it was pretty quick after that. This was the right thing that we should have done. But it was a major transition and we dealt with it differently. And it was raining and cloudy and Amy was depressed and I was taking these little kids to elementary school and it was rough. That's a long story. We were talking about transitions, but that's kind of the
Wicked
different
movie
transition.
reminded you of
It
that.
did.
And then where you were today.
Yeah.
Like you had 2 pinpoints, which sometimes we don't always have. Like
Right. And
2 direct data points to say,
where we'd come, what
here's where we
become,
were and here's where we
my
are.
kids had grown up. They had loved the schools they were in.
Probably like 15, 16 years apart?
Yeah. My daughter had found her husband here and had married and had gave us a grandbaby. And like, so all the amazing things that had come through doing and making this decision was very evident as you sat there and you're like, wow, that was a great decision to make. But at the time it was rough. So I guess we're going back to saying that any of these transitions, like I deal so differently with them. And I don't know if you had time to think about it long enough to have an answer yet, but I am curious to know if there's any correlation between male and female and responsive and spontaneous desire, or if it's just personality.
I haven't seen a correlation between spontaneous and responsive. I think the correlation might be more around just emotional processing. When you make a decision, your emotions process very quickly and it's done and decided. And I actually appreciate and admire that about you because it helps you really stay grounded and focused.
But it could also be dangerous too if you think about it, right?
Right. Well,
maybe I'm
virtue
doing
is a virtue vice, right? So it's
because maybe I'm doing it to avoid the emotions and not process through them.
Maybe. And for me, the emotions, like talking about grief again, weren't that I didn't think this transition was right or that I didn't think it was in the direction that I wanted to go, that you wanted to go, that we wanted our family to go. It's more grieving what was and like a gratitude of, I'm so grateful that we had, like when we left our first house in California to move to Texas, that's where all our babies were born. And I was so grateful for those walls that held all those memories and that held our family during that really vulnerable time of infanthood and young childhood. And it's this love and grief kind of all wrapped together. And then when we left our next home, I thought of all the growth and the memories and the laughter and the singing and the noise and the chaos and the creating and times when it expanded to even more people. And then as the seasons changed, and it was a part of the love and gratitude that we had that space that was so suited to that. And so part of my love is to say thank you, and that comes out sometimes as grief, knowing that there will be no more memories in that home, but I'm grateful for the ones that I get to take with.
And you definitely are more process oriented as far as processing through a large decision like that. Like you go and you think about benefits and what could happen, think about it and
I'm
process
far
through
more
it
detailed
and
and
detail and everything.
logistical, yes.
And I guess I'm saying that
And you're far
because,
more big picture and idea,
right,
and you can see that, and you're like, the details
like,
will work
doesn't
themselves out.
matter. That's what we want. Let's go. And then I get confused. Isn't that what you want? You said you want. And
Yeah.
you're like, yeah, but what if? And I'm saying all that not to say that's bad or ugly. I think that's great and amazing and awesome. And that's why we marry each other, right? Is because there is a perfect example of the two differences that are required to make really sound, wise life decisions.
Yeah. You see the big picture and can keep that direction. You do this in our finances, you do this with our kids, you do this in a lot of ways. I'm in the logistics and the details and the how, and that helps. So our kids said it the other night. They're like, Dad comes up with the big ideas and Mom executes on them. And there's some truth to how both of those
Yeah.
play together. And
Yeah. And I think another key takeaway to this is earlier on in our marriage, it was fraught with frustration and misunderstanding in the similar way of I tried to make Amy look like me sexually, and because she didn't, then that means she wasn't choosing me. I think similar to this, as we process through these major transitions in life, I tried to make Amy process them the same way as I did. And if she didn't, then I took that as she thought I was wrong or there was something wrong with me, right? That I did it the wrong way. Hold on, you need to stop doing it that way and you need to start thinking about it. And it's been as we've unwound all the crap that we have and we found out my validation problems and we realized that difference is not an issue. It's thinking it's an issue is the issue and realizing that the real successful marriage happens within these differences. Not only eroticism grows, but I think great choices and transitions happen. These last few transitions, it's helped me because I haven't put that onus on it. I haven't been like, Amy, you need to decide now because if you don't, then you're not in. Are you all in or you're not all in? That's what I would
and I
say.
want to really just take a moment to say thank you because you really did. I'm thinking of the house move. You really did hold so much space for me. And I would come to you and say, I'm grieving or I'm scared. Can you just hold me? And you did.
Yeah.
Like, you didn't pressure me in any way to move out of it. You didn't like, why are you thinking of this again? Why are you just not all in? I'm sure there was some part of you that was thinking that.
I've learned that you just transitioned different than me and that it's not bad. It's just different than me. And I've learned that there's value in that. And so holding that space and allowing you to fill it was much better than trying to force you into something because in the end, even if you made the choice, it wouldn't feel like it was being chosen because you wanted it.
Right.
I mean, there's so many parallels to our sexual relationship. Now I'm talking out loud about it. And that's probably true in lots of parts of this life that there's so many parallels, but to
And
me,
it
it
did
was just
allow
better.
me the space, though, to grieve because I had to grieve first in order to even be able to make the choice, come to the emotional space where I could choose. And so allowing that grief to happen and just making time and space. And it was a way of me saying thank you for the experiences in the home and what we've been able to enjoy there and how we had grown. And then from that space, I could choose to take the next step, but I couldn't take the step until I had processed everything that had happened to get to that step.
Yeah. And it's interesting because I'm going back and thinking, I think there's some virtue in the way that I go about these transitions, but there's probably some things I need to work on and making sure that I'm not swallowing my emotions or pushing them down. And this memory came right back to me. Our oldest son had gone away to college. And we always talk about dropping off college and it's going to be so sad and cried. All the kids we dropped to college, we actually haven't really cried when we were there because it was such a kind of joyous moment
Right.
of
We
doing
didn't want to
that.
spoil their joy. Like they're so excited for this new phase. And so, well, my heart was crying on the inside. It was also super excited for
Right.
them. I loved my college years and I was really excited for them too.
And Amy probably started processing the emotion on the drive home. I'd get that. And so I would just hold my ground or just be quiet about it.
I would be sobbing.
And she would be sobbing. But then it reminded me of this memory I have of sitting in the chair watching college football and just sobbing. And Amy's like, "What is wrong with you?" And I'm like, "I just miss my son." And I'm like sobbing. And so she gets on the phone. "You need to talk to your dad." "No, don't do that. That's embarrassing." But here, you need to talk to your dad. I don't want him to know that I'm sad and crying. But anyway, I think it's just a reminder myself as we transition and do these things that why it is okay to go head first into it and say, I'm okay with it. I need to remind myself that there is an emotional process of processing through these things and making sure that I'm processing them. It doesn't have to look the same as yours, but it also needs to make sure that I am. And I think on the same side and making sure that you get through and process emotions and start
Right.
moving
And
on.
get to actually making a decision
Yeah.
because I think it could also be very easy for me to stay spinning and think that the grief means I can't make a decision or that I'm unable, but to allow myself room for the emotions, but also to direct them towards, and what are you deciding? And now what? Because you're so decisive, the way that I
Combat.
showed up, no, I mean, it was the first, I don't know, 10 or 15 years of our marriage, I just let you decide because you were so
And then
decisive.
resented me.
And then resented it. That's what I'm saying. That's the trap for me. And so it's no, I have my own process to go through. I do need to go through. And I also need to get to my own decision and not just fold into you. And because you are a very decisive person, that's wonderful. But I also have the agency and responsibility to make choice too.
So that brings up a little thought that I was thinking this morning. I don't know if I don't even want to admit it, but
Oh, what is that?
as we are processing through what happened last night and
We had a bump
this
last night.
debacle,
Like all
last
people
night,
have
like we
bumps.
do. I still sometimes go to my like defensive self where I'm like defending my ego
Mm.
and I let it go there for a second. But the difference now is I used to dwell there and that was all that came out. And then by the time I talked to you, I was ready just to fight you and I was really good at it.
Mm-hmm.
So I went there for just a second. But this is the analogy I was playing in my head. You want me to drive the car. You never want to drive the car. So you give me the freaking keys and tell me to drive. I don't know where we're going. You know where we want to go. And oh, by the way, the potholes in the road, they change every time. So where I was driving and wouldn't hit a pothole, now I hit a pothole and I was supposed to avoid the pothole, but I know there was a pothole there. Like, what the hell am I supposed to do? So I went through this whole pity party of like, I'm always having to drive the car, but I don't know where the hell the potholes are.
Oh.
And I get in trouble for hitting them. So there.
And what happened after that?
I took a breath
Yeah.
and I thought, that's not what's going on. We just sometimes miscommunicate in the moment. And I didn't mean any harm. And you didn't mean any harm. And you didn't communicate as clearly as you should have. And I didn't listen as well as I should have. And that just gives us an opportunity to practice tonight.
I'm like, where's he going with this? For sure he's going somewhere.
Was that a bit?
I think I've surpassed the bid.
No expectations of what that practice looks like. It can be anything. I have zero. Let's co-create a practice, but we probably need to follow up and practice.
I confess I have been tracking how
you need to stop doing this. Is bad.
How you take anything and everything. Even like I asked you to buy some hyaluronic acid for me.
That's not how you said it.
Yes, it is.
You said hide your own asses or something like that.
how you have this amazing capacity to turn anything into an
You
innuendo.
just don't understand. Spontaneous desires, 24/7 is going in our head. So there's like a sex filter before anything else comes out. You know, your brain has this filter. It goes through the sexual filter first, and then we find all the innuendos. And it takes a lot of power not to have them come out the other end.
I
And
think you
so
don't have a
I
filter in you.
I do. Do you want me to be unfiltered for the next
No.
24 hours?
No,
We can practice that if you like.
no.
So what I'm trying to tell you
I'm
is a
just
lot of times
amazed at your skill that
it's-
anything
I'm trying to explain why. Like, a lot of times it
and
gets filtered out.
everything.
But the best ones that are really good, I can't help myself because they're really good.
I'm like waiting for it. How is he going to turn this into something? Like, it's coming. I know it's coming. It's going to be something. What's it going to be this time?
At least you don't get mad at me anymore. You just get mad at me.
No, we did have a
wasn't a
pretty
part of
good
it.
chuckle the other day over one of them.
So what was that?
I think it was the hyaluronic acid. Which
all I heard when she said it was like, "You want me to put what in your ass?" That's what the filter said. And I tried to stop it, but it was so good I couldn't. So I said something like that. She's like, "What?" And then I tried to repeat what she wanted, hide her all the while ass.
it got worse, y'all. Anyways, for those who don't know, it's just a serum that's moisturizing for your
Serum,
face. Harmless. It's like water for your face to keep it from drying out. Like,
and you don't put it in your ass.
no, it has
Okay.
nothing to do with that. Nothing.
Like, I thought you didn't want anything there. But anyways, we overcame that.
We digress.
We digress. But I really think this is a great topic to talk about because transitions happen in your life all the time.
Yep.
And again, understanding there's going to be differences and you're going to deal with them differently. And that's not a problem. The problem is not letting the other person deal with them in the way they can and not seeing the benefits of it. I definitely see the benefits of the way that Amy transitions to things, and I can see the benefits of the way that I do too. And if we can leverage both of those benefits, and how awesome is that, right?
Mhm.
Because now we have both sides of it. We have someone that says, we're going to go because that's what we want. Let's go. We have someone that say, wait a minute, you probably didn't get dressed before you walk out the door. Oh yeah, we shouldn't do that naked. The house is a safe place now, but out the door's not. You're right.
I'm thinking of actually said this to you. Maybe if she could dress before you go outside.
Oh, I don't know. So look,
You have this
listen.
uncanny ability to not care if you're exposed. You do not care what windows are open. You do not care what blinds are
Oh,
open.
you know, you want to give everyone the show if they want
just
it.
don't care. And I'm like, but babe, others might.
So let's listen here. I have a grievance, another grievance. I'm going to air right
Oh,
now since we're
wow.
airing grievances.
This will be interesting.
So women have come up with this great cozy way of wearing pants. They don't really. It's just like tight. What do you call them? Cozy pants?
Are you calling them about
Stretchy
leggings?
pants? Stretchy pants.
Leggings?
Leggings. I
Like
don't know what you
workout
call them.
leggings?
Like, women love them.
Yeah, they're to
And
work out in, and they're cozy.
I never knew why they loved them so much. And we love them as guys too, because you look pretty darn hot in them too. So go ahead and wear your leggings all you want. But we don't get a chance to do this. My daughter, who works at a store that sells loungewear and pajamas, got me these pajama pants that are pretty much my leggings. They're pretty much my stretchy pants. And I wear them in my bedroom just for fun sometimes. And I ride my horse with them sometimes. And I get so much shit from the people at the bar. Did you just walk out of bed and come to the horse? Like, yeah, you got a problem with that? So they ride in their stretchy pants all the time. You
No,
call it normal.
no, that's English writing. You
I'm
do
not
Western
wearing English.
and Eastern, or excuse me,
Eastern
English.
riding.
English stretchy pants are very, very structured and different.
Yeah, I
than
told them
your-
they're not
than
comfortable.
your stretchy pants.
That's why I said I'm never going to write English. Alexis gets to show all the English stuff because I'm not wearing the pants and the little boy suit. They make them all look like little boys. It's pretty crazy. But anyway, that's a grievance. I feel much better. I got it out there. I have my stretchy pants. Don't judge me for it. I don't judge all you women out there wearing your stretchy pants. So, leave me alone. It's all good.
Oh my goodness.
Anyway,
This is not at all what we intended to talk
no,
about.
but it's been great.
We
We love this transition.
Yes, we do. This is not at all what we were going to talk about, just so you know. And not that we spend that much time thinking about it. I guess you just get us live and unfiltered.
Raw.
So here we are.
That's what we've been told has been the greatest thing that you enjoy, that it's just us. And can't tell you how amazing that is coming from Amy, the most private woman I ever met in my whole entire life when we were first married.
Very private.
And well into our marriage. And so it's just fun to be able to sit and have her be willing to share. And it's a blessing. I think it's a great blessing for not only me to listen to, but everyone out there, all the women. Like, I know I'm biased here, but if you're looking up to be an amazing woman, she's a good one to look up to. So I'm just so grateful that she's willing to sit here and be vulnerable with me. I shouldn't remind her how many people listen to this because it might stop her. But I appreciate it, babe.
I love you. Thank you.
Yep. So if you're going through these transitions, this craziness is real.
Actually, we get a lot of empty nester couples because it is the time when you realize, oh, if we really want to thrive in this next stage of marriage, we probably need to address some things that, maybe you haven't had time or space or room or energy, which, is also pretty fair because it can be very demanding to raise children. Love them dearly, but it can demand a lot. And I really admire those couples who come and say, we want to build something different. We want this to be joyful and good for both of us. And I also love watching that happen.
Yeah. This is our second marriage, right? And then we get to choose how we're going to
Marriage
do it.
2.0.
That's the greatest thing is you've learned all the stupid stuff you've done, and now you get to choose, like, how do we do this the way we want to do this? And not only that, like I said, it comes faster than you realize. So the more we can get a runway to prep for it, I think the better.
But even if not, if you landed there and you're like,
oh, shoot.
Ooh, that's okay too.
Yeah. We would love to help it anyway. It doesn't
mean, and I even get really much later than we've been empty nesters.
Oh my gosh. We realize that it's never too late. Mm-hmm. Some of our greatest thriving couples are in their 60s and 70s. It's incredible. Like we thought, oh, it should be over by then. You're done. It's just starting and they're great and they really enjoy each other and they're able to thrive in this erotic bucket. Very much so.
Yeah.
Thank you all. Oh, we really appreciate this. Is like I said, it's almost feels selfish that we get to do this because it's therapeutic for us. And while I was in trouble when we woke up this morning, I think Amy loves me again. So this is good.
In trouble.
Thanks for everyone for helping me get out of trouble.
You were not in trouble.
We were. I'm just joking. We weren't at all. You weren't at all. Although you're being awful quiet. All right. We love you. We appreciate you. Come visit us. Come visit.
Let me try it. Come visit us on langfordlifecoaching.com. Sign up for our community. Go review our podcast somewhere to put yourself in the drawing for the 3 free coaching sessions. That is such a tongue twister.
So hard to say. I was so proud of myself when I said it earlier.
Feel free to email us, amy@langfordlifecoaching.com or greg@langfordlifecoaching.com. You can also join our newsletter list. That's also on the website. So join us.
Yep. We love to have you. Appreciate everyone. Until next time.
Keep undressing your intimacy.
Bye-bye.